So SAP kernel upgrade or kernel patching. So what is this kernel? So kernels are OS level libraries, right? So it is the interface. Kernel is the OS level executable files. It's a it will act as a intermediate. It acts as a interface between application and your operating system layer. So if you have some issues with the kernel, definitely you may see the multiple performance issues, multiple bugs in the systems, right? If the SAP system is running fine, means because of the kernel binaries, kernels. Means kernel means exe directory, right? So exe available in the system. There is a location of the exe directory is called the usr, sap, sid, right? So sys and exe. In this location, we have the one exe folder, d instance number, ASCS instance number. Yesterday we discussed about the file systems here, right? So kernel upgrade. So SAP, USR, SAP, SID, sys, exe, executable directory. So if it is the global directory, then SAP MNT, then SID, then EXE. This is the EXE for this is the global EXE directory. Why? Because it's a global mount point. This is the local mount point here. Local. So here normally during the installation time, we have downloaded the kernel files and we have done the installation. Installation we have done in the long back. Then till now we are using the same kernels. Then it will affect the same. So as per SAP recommendations, we may have to update the kernels every 3 months once, and every six months once, or any security vulnerabilities, we may have to update the kernels as part of the bug fixing. That we have to do that one. So to perform this kernel upgrade, what we have to do now? So first of all, to perform the kernel upgrade, you need to check the first you need to check the current version of kernel version. So then based on that, you need to align the target version here. Then decide or align with your management, align for target kernel version. What is the target? What is the source? What is the target kernel version? So which is available in the marketplace here, right? So in this case, you can go to the SAP systems. You can go to the SAP system here. Suppose like if you take the NW1 system here, then you can go to the NW1 system. Then here you can go to the SM51 transaction code here, SM51 transaction code. There you can go to the release notes here. Here you can see the 754 400 is the current patch level we have in the marketplace in the SAP system. What is there in the marketplace, SAP marketplace here, right? So this is the kernel version 754 release and 400. Then what is there in the marketplace here, right? So that's what you have to go to the service marketplace, support pack and patches, K for kernel. So then K for kernel here. So 64-bit kernel here. So we have the 754, right? So then you can go to the 754. So just only if you are updating 754, it's so kernel. So 500 is there, 400, 754, 400 is there. Now 500 is released. 500 is released here. 500 patch levels are released here. So you can update to the 500. This is only 500 patch level. Means only 754 patch level is the 500. Then here 754 patch level is the 400. You are updating from 400 to 500. This is called the kernel patch upgrade. So you are upgrading the release from 754 to higher version, then so that is called the kernel release upgrade. But both the procedures are common. Both the either kernel patch upgrade or kernel release upgrade, both the procedures are same. Right? Same way we have to do this work here. Sir, how to perform this work now? How to perform this one here? So what we have to do here, we need to download the latest kernels from service marketplace. Before downloading the latest kernel, you need to check the release note. Why? Because some kernels will not support your SAP. Kernel is based upon the your SAP version, S verse. Your SAP version. Kernel we have to apply based upon the SAP version. Sir, currently it's there in the 754. Directly shall I go to the 793? Is it applicable? No. Why? Because kernel is based upon the your SAP versions here. So your SAP version is lower environment. If you apply the 777, then your SAP kernel upgrade will fail. SAP, the kernel upgrade will fail here. So this is a release note. If you read it here, this is a 754 500 patch level. Then this is applicable for the your SAP version 740, 750, 751, 752, 769. So which means if you go to the your SAP system status here, what is the your SAP version? 750, 750 here. So the 750 is there. So this kernel we can apply it here. This kernel we can apply it here. Suppose if you go to the 777, sir, I will directly apply the 777. Then whether my SAP system is it applicable or not means, then if you see the release note, if you see the release note here, so 777, if you see the release note here, SAP version 753, 754, 757. So which means this is the table in the table 753, 754 and 777. But your SAP version is 750 only. Is it listed here? Not listed. Then this is not to apply in your SAP system. This is not applicable for SAP systems here. Right? Even though if you apply it without checking, your SAP system won't start. This is one of the reason after the kernel upgrade, your SAP system, it won't start because of the wrong kernel version. You applied the wrong kernel version in the systems. That's the one of the thing you need to read it, or just to take a one more point here, read the so kernel release note. Read the kernel release note here. Read the kernel release note before. Read the kernel release note before applying. Before performing kernel, read the kernel release note one. This is one of the important point for everybody. Please take a note before applying in your organizations. Right? So that is the one thing here. Read the kernel release note before apply, before performing. Then download. So SAP EXE, download SAP EXE and SAP EXE from Service Marketplace. Download SAP EXE, SAP EXE from Service Marketplace here. One is the DB dependent, DB independent files. Dependent, independent files you have to download. These are two files you have to download it. When you are downloading, there are the two files you have to download it here. One is the DB. DB means, so suppose if you are applying in the Windows, you need to select the Windows, then you need to download the Windows related file. This is called the DB independent, and second one is the DB dependent file. You have to download it here. DB dependent files, DB dependent, DB independent files. You have to download these two files. You have to download from the marketplace for applying the kernel here. Then download this one as well as the can download the, suppose I'm applying in the NW1 system. So then download this one here. So two files I am downloading it here, right? These two files you have to download. You have to move to the service marketplace here. So you have to download it from the service marketplace here. So then you have downloaded, you have set everything. Some organizations, they may apply the hot fixes as well. Hot fixes in the sense, after the kernel patch release, are there any new hot fixes? These all are the hot fixes only. So DW version 510 is released. Then SAP HTTP 510 is released. SAP WebGUI 510 is released. These are the hot fixes. Hot fixes means after the kernel released, there are the some known bugs. For those known bugs, instead of they are releasing the new kernel release, then they have released the hot fixes. They are releasing it here. Hot fixes, they are releasing it here. When they have released this one, the release date, so 1402. In the few maybe week back, they have released this one here, right? After that, there are the some bugs are occurred here. For that bug fixes, SAP released the hot fixes. Normally this we will call it as the hot fixes here. Then normally we will call it as the hot fixes here, right? So that is the one here. So now 500 is the latest version which is released in the week back. Then you can apply the 500 here, right? So 500, so it is released here. Then what we can do, we can move these files to the, so we can move these files to the, so application server level where you have the, these files are there. So where you have the SAP system is running here, you can move this to the file application server level here, right? So that is the one thing here. So you can move to the system level. So move to the system level, maybe NW1 system you are applying, right? What I can do here, I can create a one folder is called the kernel. So these files are released. So then what I'm doing here, I'm copying these files to the, so our, so target location application server level here. How much time it will take? NW1 ADM, and we can go to the here. Directly download from the server. Let's see. me.sap.com. This is processing very slowly. Oh my God. It's taking very, very longer. So directly I'm trying to download in the server. So let's see. So go to the software downloads. Support pack and patches and by alphabetical index. So okay for kernel. So it is fast. So let me down cancel this process because it is taking some time. Okay. Cancel that process. Okay. So 754. In the 754, download the latest version of SAP EXE. Then you can download the database related kernel. So database related file. So these two files are mandatory. SAP EXE, SAP EXEDB. These two are mandatory to download it here. Okay. So once you download it here, we need to do the extraction. We need to perform the extraction in the systems here, right? So using the SAP car download and so extract it here, extract using SAP car command, SAP car -xvf, and then SAP exe first, then SAP exedb, first SAP exe, then SAP exedb, you need to do that one. Then once the extract using the SAP car command, once done is done, then stop the SAP, take the downtime. So first of all, downtime is required. Kernel upgrade is the offline activity. Then take the downtime, stop the SAP system. Okay, then stop all the services, SAP systems and everything. No need to stop the database. Only SAP we are doing means stop SAP system. Then what we can do, so we can replace the we can replace replace new kernel files which you downloaded with the existing kernel directory. Existing kernel, this is the one of the crucial step here. Kernel directory here, kernel directories. So main directory is enough. Main directory CXE is enough here. You have to replace in this kernel directory here. So once you done it here, so then so execute for it is a Linux system. Then sticky bytes ICM BND permissions we have to change it. So for this one you need to execute the SAP root.sh script. You have to execute with the root user in the Linux systems. Windows systems it's not required. Then start SAP start SAP system. Then you can perform the start SAP system. Then perform the validations here. Perform validations here. Right? So let's see here. All the files are downloaded here. You can see. Then what I'm going to do now, I'm moving these files to the so our location here is PC, and here the kernel directory. Then I'm going to extract the kernel using the SAP car -xvf, sorry, command prompt. In the command prompt mode, you have to extract the kernel SAP exe, SAP-exvf, then SAP exe underscore star.sar file. So SAP exe file, you are doing the extraction here. See, SAP exe, you need to do the extract here. So same binaries, we have to create it here. right? So one important step, yes, right. So better before replacing, before you performing the kernel replacement, so here stop SAP, or here you can add the one step is called the important step. Take backup of existing exe directory. This important step here. In case of rollback, in case of kernel system is not starting, you can just replace the existing kernel directory here. This is one of the important step. So you can take it out this one here before you applying the kernel. This is one of the important steps. So you can make it out here. So normally kernel upgrade is the rollback. Simply we can roll back it here, revert back the kernel to the previous status here. In case of system issues, we can roll back it here. That's what we can do it in the systems here. See, all the kernel files are getting extracted here. All the kernel files are getting extracted in the systems here.
Have to extract in the same manner, means first exe file and then db exe
Yes,
file.
yes, yes, yes. Same manner we have to extract it here. First exe, then after that SAP exedb we have to extract it.
Okay.
Otherwise, version mismatch will come, even though the sometimes kernel will show the wrong versions.
And these patches and release, so both we have to install through SWPM or other tool, so we have to use
Which one?
release and patches.
The release upgrade.
Yeah.
No, no, kernel release upgrade or SAP upgrade, you are saying.
Kernel release upgrade.
Kernel is just OS level activity. It's no need to any tools, just OS level activity. See here what I'm doing here. Just we need to extract. So then stop the SAP system. Then just you can do the replacement. See, SAP exe, SAP exedb, both are you have done it here. So both extractions you have done it in the systems here, right? So now what you have to do now? So kernel files are extracted. Then SAP that files are also extracted. Then take the backup of the existing kernel directory. Existing kernel directory means if you go to the so USR, SAP, SID, then so here you have the existing directory. So sys exe, this directory you can take the backup here. This one is enough. Just copy and take the copy of the other directory here. So that so while taking this one, what will happen here? So, so you have the old kernel files are there. New kernel files you are going to replace it in this folder. So that if something wrong, you have the already backup folder is there. Either same directory or different directory, you can take the backup here. Then stop the SAP system. Stop the SAP system here. You need to stop it here. So for this one, if it is a Windows, simple, you can go to the MMC, then you can stop it. So it's a Linux stop SAP commands and those things you can use it to stop it here, right? So just to go to the NW1, suppose like NW1 you are using here, first check in the system, are there any users in the system? Why? Because we have to plan this kind of activities during the off business hours. Off business hours, we have to plan this kind of activities here. So yes, there the 14 users are logged into the system. They are doing the work here. So in case that time, what we can do here, maybe post a system message in SM02. We can post a system message here for some time. So dear all or hi all, something like that. So you can just post it hi hi. So NW1 system is going to down for kernel upgrade activity. Please so save your work and log off from system. So just like that, you can just post some message to the customers, sorry, users, so that they are aware of. So you are doing the kernel activity. So it will be the this type of message will be displayed to the customers, all the users who are logged into the so systems here. Just wait for some time. So then what you can do, you can just stop the your NW1 system here. So just wait for 5 or 10 in the real time. Anyhow, you will get the downtime. So no users will log in. So just you can directly go ahead and stop it here. So better you, so because it's a offline activity. Kernel upgrade is like a offline activity. SAP system is running. We cannot do the kernel upgrade. So we have to shut down this one here. Right click and stop the SAP system here. Okay. So right click and stop the SAP system.
We no need to down the DBs and all, right?
Not required. Only SAP applications we have to
Mhm.
take down.
So, which is a proper downtime activity with change.
Proper downtime activity. See carefully in our training systems also. See how carefully we are informing. So immediately, so if you don't inform to the customer, so the customer will get the lot of tickets. Then they will ask us how you performed the this one without informing to the without approval and everything. Why? Because there are some priorities, right? Users have some priorities. They have to do multiple activities and everything. That's why so proper downtime is required to perform these activities and everything here. So proper downtime is required here. So that's what we are doing here clearly. So stopped it. You stopped the SAP services. You have taken the backup. Then where is the your new kernel folder? This is the new kernel folder kernel. This is the new kernel here. Copy the new kernel. So you have the SAP exe SAR files that is not required. Just you can exclude. So you copied the new kernel files here. Then you need to just override on the, so just you need to perform the override on the SAP system side here. Override means just go to the, so suppose example, you copied the new kernel, you are going to replace it here. So you are going to replace it on the sys exe uc NTADM. Here you are going to replace it. Control V, copy paste. So the new kernel files means old kernel files are there, replace the new kernel files. New kernel files will override the existing one. So new version of the files will come here. So it's doing now. So if it is the Linux cp command, copy cp-rf command, we have to use it to perform these activities and everything here. So if it is the, so Windows, right, just copy paste will work. So we can do it here. Then you can start the services here. You can start the services here. Just only the main folder, only one folder is enough. So you need to replace it on the global exe folder. So that is enough. Why? Because the remaining folders, SAP remaining folders. Sir, we have the multiple locations kernel files are there. Then how it will be possible means there is a SAP CPE utility program will copy the binaries from so global exe to the local exe directories. Global exe directories here. That will take care of when you are starting the SAP systems here. So services are starting now. I'm going to start the SAP system as well here. Right click and start it here. So while starting, you see here, so SAP CPE, see executable copy. The new kernels are getting copied to the local folders here. That is done. Then now next, this is the one here. So SAP CPE. So this is copying now here. So new kernels are replacing. It is copying this new kernel file SAP CPE, copying to the new kernel files and everything here. So it is copying. So it is taking time. So it is copying whatever the new kernel files are there. The new kernel files are copying to the local directories and everything here. So the CP utility program will copy. This is one of the frequently asked question during the interview point of time. Okay, this procedure they may ask you how to perform the kernel upgrade or everything, what files you will download, so how to extract it. So take the backup of the existing kernel shop SAP, then new kernel files with the existing just replace the new kernel files with the existing exe directories here. That's what we have to download it here. So kernel, the Windows systems, one of the drawback is So due to the multiple systems, see, sometimes it won't start to the shared memory issues and everything. What we have to do, see, dispatcher is stopped here because of the shared memory, something like that issues here. See, 754 patch level 500 is applied, but SAP is not starting. So it's a known issue for the Windows systems here. Why? Because there is a shared memory limitations here. There is a shared memory limitation, shared memory issues and everything. So, but it will not be like that for the Linux systems here. So what we have to do? We need to so shut down the other system, then re- so OS restart. For Windows systems, OS restart is sometimes it's required, sometimes it's not required. If you have the enough shared memory you apply given, that is not required. Some systems it's required. So start it again. Rare cases it's required. Okay, because it's Windows, we know that one that issues. So it will start. See, it is starting now. See, because of shared memory. One system is stopped, other system is starting. See, while starting the any process here, it always look the so profile directory profile directory kernels are important here. So profile directory, the kernel files are very important here. So work process are started here. Let me start this one as well. So it's up. So then what you can do, you can log into the NW1 system. If the basis user or any user, you can log in. You can do the validations here. So you can go to the way to check the latest kernel SM51. Then you can go to the release note. You can see the latest version of the kernel 754 500 patch level. 754 500 patch level got released. And also one more way to check this one at operating system level. So with the command prompt mode with SAD ADM user, what you can do, just you can use the displace work is the command. So displace work. This will give you the kernel version information 500 patch level 500 754 500 patch level got released. So this is released like this. We can apply it in the systems. Okay. So now this is not starting. Okay. So like this, we have to apply the kernel here. So sometimes you may have to do the restarts. You may have to do the restart of the operating system here. But because it's a Windows, right? So we know Windows. So sometimes due to the shared memory issues, we may have to perform the reboot of the operating systems and everything. Then, so after that, we can bring back the systems. That time both the systems will start. So this is the procedure we have to do that work here, right? So very simple steps here, very simple straightforward steps for the kernel upgrade or kernel patch. So downloading the files, extracting the files, move to the application server level, take the backup of the existing exe directory, stop the SAP, replace the new kernel files which you extracted in the step number 5. Then you have to replace it on the existing exe directory. Then start the SAP system, perform the validations, system validations and everything. We can perform it there. What we have to do that one in the systems. Okay. So this is the kernel upgrade activity. Okay. So any questions, anyone?
Can we perform this activity?
Sorry, what is your question?
Can we perform this activity? Because it is already upgraded. So
Yeah, you can perform it. So yeah, we can perform. You can perform the activity. What you have to do in the jump server. So we have to roll back. We have to roll back it. Go to the KP online one, maybe SAP local folder. So we have taken the backup, right? So what you can do, go to the NW one. So this one, so not this one. So sys exe uc. So this one. This is the old kernel. This is the new kernel. So this is the old kernel here, 754. Let me type it here, 754, 400. So then this is the new kernel here. So what we can do, let me create the one more folder here. So that, so you can revert back simply, easily we can revert back to the previous status. That's possible. So what we can do, I will revert back to the previous status. Same, replace. Stop the services, we have to replace it here. The only thing is, before stopping, carefully check. So if the users are, if you do it in the, now this hours, peak hours, so it will impact the users as well who are practicing the, so not only you guys, right? Other guys also practicing on the servers. So it will impact there. So properly you need to plan a downtime activity when we don't have users, maybe after evening hours and that time. So you can plan the upgrade, kernel upgrade related activities. That is the best practices in the organization also we have to follow. If we follow here, same way you can follow in the organizations as well. Why? Because we have to ensure no users impacted. System, no users will not get the disconnections. Why? Because so we may get lot of tickets if you do it in the business hours. So that's the main problem.
after restart, if any system is not coming up, then what we do in real time? Like here, we are just stopping
You need to
others
check
and
the work directory logs. Why it is not working? Why kernels are not starting? Why SAP process are not starting? You need to check the work directory logs to find out the root cause.
okay.
So without checking, then how can we? This is the place you need to check and investigate. That's why kernel. Yesterday we discussed about the OS level file systems. Okay, it's copied. This is the new kernel. 754, 754, and 500. So what we can do later, just we can downgrade. Downgrade means this 400 patches are there. Just copy all these patches, copy all. So in this location, then go back to the so your exe, then replace it on the in this folder. Just replace it on the in this folder, so that new kernels will be copied to the here. Then you can start the SAP. Then you will get the old kernel version again. Then after that, you can start the latest kernel version again. So like that, you can start it one by one, one by one, one by one. Okay. So that's what you have to do it in the systems here. Okay, so copy and replace it. So when we don't have just issue a system message and timelines to the users. So today, suppose example, today we are going to perform the kernel upgrade to 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. So please log out from the system so that you may experience some downtime activities so that users won't, they are aware of who are logged into the system, they are aware of. So, okay, activity is running, then they won't log in during that time. Okay, you have the old version and the new version is there. So just you can replace it on the old version. So later old versions will come. So downgrade or upgrade, that is the common activities. So system is up. So here, same way, what I can do here, I can start the ECC system as well here. ECC also starting here. Okay, so ECC also starting. So both are starting here. So like this, you can do the kernel upgrades. Both are there, so you can do the kernel upgrade.
Which tick code we have to use while putting message?
SM02.
SM02. Okay.
SM02 is like a issuing the system message. So we can using the SM02, you can issue a system message so that users are aware of. So they are performing activities and everything. So log into the system and go to the activity SM02. So SM02, there already message is there. Just delete, then create a message, then send it. So it will display to the all the users who are logged into the system.
Can we add timeline as well for message server?
Diamond, can we add?
Timeline.
Yeah, you can add timelines. That is the best one. How you want to define it, you can define it. It's a good message you have to define. Suppose like some people will define like, so system is going to down for the maintenance activity. So system will be up after the 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. So downtime timelines, they will write text, something like that. So you can put it out. Also, so when you want to display to, when you want to delete the message, that is also you can mention here. Yeah, you can write the timelines also here, from which timeline to which timeline you are performing, and so like that you can so maintain the details here so that whoever log into the system, that will be the message will be first, the message will be displayed to the users. Okay,
How to set maintenance mode?
not here. Solution manager you need to set. Solution manager here we cannot set any so here also we can set, there is a transaction code, I think that is a new transaction code. Let me see what is that. Maintenance mode. So maintenance mode transaction code. There is a transaction code. I see that that is the transaction code for the maintenance mode. In the SAP system also we can set the maintenance mode transaction code here. So I forgot the transaction code. So that is, I think, yes, maintenance. Yes, maintenance. No, that is not available. See, I think that is in the S4 na systems, I guess. S4 systems, I guess. So that is in the S4 systems, S maintenance. Yes, system maintenance. Not here local, normal systems. So that is for the other other systems, maintenance period, logs. So we can check it out, that one. So not for this one, that is for the different actually. So maintain the maintenance period, then create the mode and everything. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, okay, guys. Thank you. So we'll talk.